Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Never in a Million. I'm a gift designer and I am just going to show you my haul. Most likely I used clickbait on here to get you guys' attention and to get you to click on this video. So if you feel defrauded, go ahead and click right on off. This is my haul, okay? I got 2 barbecue sauces and 6 cups from the Green Dot clearance event. It was a clearance event off of seasonal items. There were a lot of items out there. These each were 25 cents. I think they were 45 cents for the barbecue sauce. I saw tons and tons of these cups, and I knew that I had probably a couple of kids' gifts that I wanted to complete, and I wanted a few cups for them. They had some that said summertime on them, but I thought these were the most neutral cups, and this is all that I got today. In this video, it's for somebody who is new in the game or old in the game, but I'm just going to talk to you while I make this gift kind of about the buying situation for your gift basket business. This is no disrespect to anyone. I always say that this is my point of view that I'm sharing on this channel. You know, more power to you. We're all grown-ups on this platform, trying to do the shopping the best way that we know how. But I just did not feel like this clearance event was giving to me what it needed to give, so I didn't partake in it. And I kind of debated on doing this video, talking about the buying, but just all of a sudden when I was coming back from shopping, I saw that Boss Lady Fee shared a video as well that had every sentiment that I wanted to share in my video. And so maybe if you receive information better from someone like Boss Lady Fee, I shared her video out in my community post, that would be a good place to start. I would recommend that video to anybody who is starting out in the game of gift basket designing and selling for profit. I would say that most of us are doing this for profit, and that we should be having our own buying styles. And some styles require to shop a lot differently than I do. I would say some of the basket designers, kind of the top basket designers on here, sell gifts daily, weekly, monthly, more often. I use this as a side hustle. I do the bulk of my selling on major holidays. And for me, I would classify major holidays as starting out with Christmas, like my friend Bag and Bode said. She feels like that kicks off the holiday season. It does to me too. Christmas, Valentine's, Mother's Day, Easter, somewhat Easter. You guys maybe follow my channel know that I'm not the biggest fan of Easter. I don't make the most money. And then Father's Day or Mother's Day, it kind of, you know, how the calendar falls, which one comes first, Easter or Mother's Day. It's typically always Easter, I believe. Yeah, so Easter, then Mother's Day, and Father's Day are my biggest selling holidays. That's what I consider the basket season. And then in the downtime, I'm just getting ready. I also do like a soft launch on holiday sales for Thanksgiving. I always sell for Thanksgiving, and that does very well for me as well. And so I say that to say, yes, I do get orders, you know, occasionally throughout the month, mostly for florals. I notice you guys don't respond well to floral videos. They always have the least amount of views on my channel. So I don't share all my floral arrangements that I make, just ones that I feel inspired to share. But the majority, I say all that to say this is a side hustle for me. Now I do get down on major holidays, Valentine's and Mother's Day especially. I've shared previously that I bring anywhere from, you know, definitely $10,000, but lately here it's been 20 to, you know, 26, 7, something like that, thousands of dollars. So this is a true side hustle, and I shop accordingly to that. I have noticed a little bit, been watching the community. I've only shared or been kind of active in the community as far as the channel wise here for like a calendar year, I believe. So haven't really shared that often, but I've been in the community watching from afar. And I've noticed where there's kind of been a shift to more buying, kind of like creating this frenzy to buy. And then seeing where, you know, a lot of newcomers or folks are having stockpile left over and over and over. And so I always want to just kind of share my point of view of how I buy to see if someone might be interested in that. And it's always at a certain price level and kind of for different seasons. I mentioned earlier in this video that Easter isn't my biggest selling holiday. I don't do well at Easter. I usually bring in about, you know, $5,000 to $8,000. But that isn't something that is, you know, life-changing to me, you know, like a $25,000 holiday or, you know, closer to 30, you know, 25, 26, 27, 28, something like that. So I don't donate a lot of resources to that. So I say all that to say, like, when I was in the stores today, I saw slush puppies and popsicles, and to me, I just don't want to store that for 6 months. And so I didn't pick those items up. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pick those items up. But something that Boss Lady Fee was touching on in her video was just basically making sure that we are buying according to how we're selling. And I thought that was so poignant and so interesting. And if you notice, some of these ladies really get down. I mean, Boss Lady Fee talks about doing 600 gifts or gift baskets. Now, I could have, you know, 500 gifts, 450 gifts, but not all of those are baskets. You know, a lot of it is floral arrangements and florals that I'm selling as well that equal to about that same similar number. So I don't even buy, even though on major holidays, you know, I'm making hundreds of gift baskets, I'm not even buying at the quantity that Boss Lady Fee is buying. And then you have queens like LBE who has, you know, contracts with schools and churches and is their, you know, sole vendor. And she's purchasing, you know, higher amounts than I would purchase. But we have to realize, especially for the newbies out there, if you don't have that clientele, you could be wasting money buying items just because they seem to be a good price. And I know Boss Lady Fee touched on this and like losing them, so where you have to buy more items. So it could be a slippery slope. I have been susceptible to what me and my friend called getting into this buying frenzy or being seduced by the shopping. But it always has to make business sense at the end of the day. And one thing I've also noticed is when you see the Boss Lady Fees or the LBEs or, you know, these major channels getting hauls, you see them in the same day, weeks leading up to it, using the items and putting them in gifts. So they're not really, you know, crowding up spaces in their area. Maybe it is with packed gifts that are already made, but not just getting stuff to sit on the shelf. So yeah, I say all that to say, just we got to be mindful about the shopping that we're doing and making sure that it makes sense for us and what could be a good deal. And I have seen, you know, Boss Lady Fee buy or someone who is selling gifts weekly or monthly, like Philanda. Philanda could have a sale at any moment. And I love it and I'm rooting for her and I wish she gets, you know, more and more sales. But my sales just ain't like that, okay? I might get a customer who, you know, needs a floral arrangement for a certain thing, or like I mentioned previously, a cleaning company that every time they clean, they might use a floral arrangement. And that's a lot of the bulk of the stuff that I get that maybe, you know, done throughout the month or from week to week. But a gift basket, this all occasion thing, isn't my cup of tea. And I don't really have inventory for that. So if someone is like, oh, I want this specialized item, I would literally have to go out and buy that. So yeah. So let me just kind of touch base on the gift that I'm doing right here. This is a just kind of a simple neutral or gender neutral gift. Could be for a man or a woman, a lady, for any occasion. And I like to have these gifts. And another thing that I talk about in my videos is having items at different price points. So someone may want a blanket, and where I do have a lot of blanket gifts that are, you know, in the $85, $95, $100 range. I also want to have a couple of blankets, and this one was a penny blanket. I did a short on this, accompanied by a receipt. If you need to fact check me, this specific blanket I know is on there, as well as the coupon deal that I did with this soft soap. They're all on shorts. But someone might just only have $35 to spend and want a blanket. Okay, so I don't have all my blankets priced at, you know, $85 or $65 or $50. And that is my pricing strategy, to offer a variety of items in a variety of price points, and for some of my customers to know that this is where they can come for just about anything. Okay, I mentioned this kind of videos back, maybe 100 videos back by now, where Bath and Body Works, I always have a concept with one piece of Bath and Body Works and another item that is $35, whereas other people on the street selling with me only do them in sets and only do them at the price point of, you know, $55, $60 and higher. And that has changed the game, where people know that they can come to me. Another thing is my buying style too, and why you see me making gifts so frequently throughout this downtime, and not just spending this time to shopping or getting prepared, but to actually make gifts, is because right now I know of at least 50 customers that I have in rotation that buy from me every single holiday that I'm out selling, and they buy at least 2 gifts. So if I have 50 people that I know, I have their phone number through Cash App and Apple Pay. We have shared text messages. If I know 50 people who will buy at least 2 gifts, I have to at least have 100 gifts for them to purchase every single holiday. And that's only those 50. And if I want to be prepared and I want to have a plethora of items, then I am going to have to start making gifts in June. Okay? Because I don't want to, you know, wait until the last minute and only be able to crank out 150 or 200 gifts when I know basically 100 gifts of mine are already spoken for at every single holiday. I could go through my Apple Pay and show you where they pay a dollar amount that is equal to at least 2 gifts on my table. Okay? And they look for me every single holiday, whether it is Christmas, Valentine's, Mother's Day, Easter, and even Father's Day. I have honed in at least those clients. And so I'm saying that if you don't have that customer base that you know is almost a guarantee, then there is such thing as stepping out in faith, but there is being, like Boss Lady mentioned, and I know something that it always sticks out with me. I know Eileen from Unique Gifts by Lady Di, she always talks about being a good steward of your resources. And so I have to know, you know, that even though I have faith and I want to sell out, I have to also be realistic and know the bottom line is if I want to make a certain amount, I have to only spend a certain amount in order to guarantee that profit. And so sometimes it's hard because we're like, oh, is this a good deal? And it might be a great deal for everyone else, but it might not be a good deal for you if, one, you don't have that clientele, you don't have a guaranteed kind of, you know, roundabout figure on who's coming to buy, when they're coming to buy, or even where you're selling. Some of the gift designers that are kind of starting out new have been messaging me via my email. That's on my website. You don't have to do that, but if you do, and I can see it and I can answer it, I'll help you. They're saying, I want to break into the game, but they don't know where to sell or how to sell or who they're going to sell to, but then have a stockpile of inventory, which can make you, makes me nervous for you. So it's a lot more that's going into this business than just us buying things, showing it to you, and then preparing them. We're, most of the people have some type of idea of what their selling volume is. And so I know that it's probably not all the same. So we can't all do the same type of shopping. And does that mean you're going to miss out on sales? Yes. And does that mean you might have to use old inventory and you might not be using the latest and greatest? Yes. That is what that means for me. And what that looks like for me is where everybody might have the nice, cute, new packaging on Bath and Body Works. I don't have that. I don't have the nice scents. I never have sold Japanese cherry blossom, not one single time, because it has never been where I have seen it on the $2 and $3 table. So I'm never going to have that. I'm not going to buy it at $5.95. I'm not going to buy it, on semi-annual, because that price isn't my price. It's not Never in a Million's price. So I have to let that go. Okay. I have never really sold a balloon. And I know everybody's like, a balloon ain't nothing but $1. I have managed to make on a holiday $20-something thousand without selling a balloon. So me adding $1.25 per gift for that balloon is not my price. That's not my price. That's not my buying price. I know that I can make $5,000 to $8,000 at Easter without a slush puppy, and I don't have to store it throughout this whole season. So that 17 cents, that 13 cents, and I don't have to store it, or 19 cents, however it is not worth it to me. Not saying that it's not worth it to you, not saying that it's not a good buy to you, but I know that what I'm comfortable doing. I'd rather wait until toys go on sale. Usually it's like some blue star, or blue dot around Halloween will go, 50, 75, 90, and to a penny. That's what I would rather wait for. So instead of me going and spending and storing all these toys, I'd rather get this stockpile cleared out some, so where I can store my toys that I'll get around Halloween. And those will be the items that will go into my baskets for Easter. I used to load up around this time of year at remodels, but remodels have changed. And so I used to get all like my Nerf guns and the LOL dolls that I used to get, and the balls and everything like that used to come for remodels. And I knew it would come around this time that they would start going at remodels, and I would be able to stock my shelves there while I've been working on getting these shelves cleared with the merchandise that I have now. So we all just have to, I just say all this to say, not to fuss with anyone, not to say you're doing it wrong, but to give you another idea, or to give you more insight than I think what we're really getting from just seeing these hauls. So we see the hauls and we see the people doing it, and we want to emulate their business, because who wouldn't want to sell a gift every week, or to get a contract with a church, or to be a vendor for a school, or do graduation gifts, or who, can have a trailer full of gifts like Boss Lady Fee, and, sell out and have that same location every year, and customers come back to her. Who wouldn't want to do that? But if we're not at that stage, we don't need to be doing the same buying that they're doing yet, until we get there, okay? Because there is another side to where people are sharing and also becoming overwhelmed with their stockpiles. And so sometimes stockpiles can cost you money instead of make you money. I'm not saying that that's happened to anybody. I don't know personally. They don't share their monthly bills with me. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Talk about this gift a little bit that I made. It's kind of what I feel is more of a unisex. Now, it is leaning on the masculine side, but we have some females out there who this would be a perfect gift for, who, maybe not identify with the more feminine gifts, or maybe just a male wants this. This isn't a male or men's. I didn't want to put like a Dove men's body wash in here, or a male Bath and Body Works. So to me, this is a unisex gift. It's something that's got a mild smell there that could be used for the elderly. So where I sell, it's very near to a rest home. And sometimes people just stop by, especially around Thanksgiving and Christmas, who are visiting their loved ones in the rest home, and maybe wanted to bring a gift. So this would be like kind of my answer to that. It's not gonna, make me really rich. It has a penny blanket in there, like a $2 or $2.25 coupon soft soap, and just a nice little washcloth in a 77-cent box. Less than $3.50, and I will make $35 off of that. So that you can do the math for the profit there. And it's just another gift to add to my table. All right, guys, we've come to basically the end of the video. If you guys are out there making your hauls, it's okay to make a gift while you're making your haul. Sometimes that makes me feel good. I can, go out and spend, $20, $30, $50, come home, make 2 gifts, and I feel comfortable. I'm like, okay, that haul is paid for. Okay, everybody can rest and relax. Now we just need a buyer. Okay, really enjoyed you. I hope I didn't offend anybody. That's not my intention. Let's just all be mindful. I know that word gets thrown out, of the business that we're in, where we're at, how our budget is going, what we intend to make, and let's just do the thing. Okay, enjoy, you guys. Good night.